Good morning. I had an interesting story this week that I just wanted to share briefly. Tomorrow, I'm running in the Oklahoma City Half Marathon, my first race at that distance, and it's called the Run to Remember, as they remember the bombing of the mid-90s. And so this week, I had especially dark times of some despondency, some thoughts of discouragement, and I think it was just feelings of purposeless again. And at times that happens, whether and for all of us maybe in life, but I think for sure ministry at times. And my ministry partner Jesse and I, we talked, where both of us have faced that at times, but this week it just felt especially dark. And so yesterday, Jesse and I spent a couple 2.5 hours together, and I was able to be vulnerable with him, sharing, and I said, I don't think these are real thoughts, but I need to say this is how I'm feeling and get it out. And I asked for feedback and actually even challenge. And we just had an amazing 2.5 hours together. And he could tell at the beginning, my countenance was down. And by the end, I was feeling lifted up. And I was driving home. We talked a little bit more, even on the phone. And after that, I started to remember the last time I felt that, or maybe not last time, just another time. And it was actually 13 years ago. And I had had an extended season. This had been a few years after Phil had passed. And I was really down and despondent and wondering if I had purpose in life. And it was 13 years ago when the Lord, maybe for the first time, really felt his presence, encountered him. And I started thinking, I was like, I think that was 13 years ago. And that was also in late April. And I actually looked at the calendar, made the connection that the race tomorrow I'm doing is literally 13 years to the Sunday of really a first time encounter with the Lord. It'll be 2 days. I think the date was the 29th and tomorrow is the 27th, but it was a Sunday 13 years ago. And here I am 13 years later on a Sunday running a race with similar thoughts. And yet I just thought, the Lord does these things that are, I don't know. I like dates, and even this running new journey for me has been such a blessing. And I feel like the Lord's like, you are remembering this week of my faithfulness, and that I'm not done with you. I have purpose in your life. You may not always see it. And so anyways, I wanted to share that story. I'm grateful how the Lord is faithful to us. Even when we forget our ways, we can feel disoriented. I've been thinking since last weekend about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And sometimes our lives are stuck on the Friday. We feel there's death around us, even though we can see that out of death, the blessing of Jesus' resurrection, but often there's death. And we love Sunday, we love Easter Sunday, and we get to celebrate his new life, his resurrection. But often we're caught on Saturday with disorientation, confusion, thinking, what just happened? And we know Sunday could come, but we just live in Saturday. And I feel like that's been a season for me, maybe just the tension I live in, hope for what could be, but feeling, that discouragement. So as I run tomorrow, 13 miles, I'll be thinking back of 13 years ago, and God's faithful and remembering.